You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm prepared here. Boom. They give you the U guy. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And the U guy is this thing squared on top over 2 plus I. Right? Mm-hmm. And it says, hey, without a calculator and without an abacus, all right, show your work, all right, express it in x plus yi, just like you were asking, Mr. Allen, where x and y are real. Okay. Well, y is always going to be, x and y will be real, it's just the coefficient will be real. So the first thing that you do when you see this monster, you say, oh my goodness, where's Murmer, right? Better be at the Starbucks to help me out, but you guys are smart. And you say to yourself, well, if I'm going to square this, I might as well write these identically, and then just do the classic FOIL, right? And then we get 1 times 1, obviously, you know, the typical FOIL. 2i and 2i is 4i. And then we get 4i squared. Not bad? And then I squared is -1. Substitute that back in there, because you've known this over probably 2 years, right? You put that in there, and you simplify, and then you get -3, because it's going to be -4 plus a 1, which just gives me -3, plus 4i. Okay? Pretty easy? Now, the next part says, what's that say up there? What's Sam right up there?
Conjugate.
Conjugate. So the conjugate is evil. You remember I told you, do you have a sibling? Yes. Sophia, do you have a sibling? Oh, yeah, right. Brother, sister? Brother. Older, younger? Older. Is he a pain in the neck?
Yeah.
Is he supposedly a know-it-all?
Younger ones are too.
Also younger ones.
Yes.
If you're an older one, I think that you get the unlucky draw. Okay, sorry, younger ones. Because in my case, the older ones have to be the know-it-alls, the savior, the everything that they have to do. They have to set the example. Yeah. See,
That's a bad idea for my part.
you see so if you when you have children in 100 years from now, I hope that you don't put that type of stigma or mantle on your children.
To be fair, the younger ones do have to kind of live up to that too.
Well, yes, because
they always compare it.
I'll give you an example. When I was in school and so on, don't worry, I'll go over this. When I was in school, I left, and my brother was like about 6 years younger than me, 5 and a half, 6. So he comes in, they see his last name, right? And you can only imagine after 4 years what the teachers were like with me, right? And they're like, you know, so he was having difficulty and stuff, and he's just the opposite, just a rebel without a cause. And then they're like, you know what? Why can't you just be like your brother? Oh, that was they were mean to him. Why can't you be like your brother? Your brother, I let him talk to class one time. They're like, yeah, you know, like that type of stuff. So don't do that to your brother, to your children. Okay. All right. So we're back here. We're -3 plus 4i, and it still has this component, the denominator on the bottom, right? Hopefully, I don't drop this. Mrs. K kick me. Right? So now we multiply by his evil twin brother or sister. I call that the conjugate. So think of your sibling when you see this. If it's written as such, simplify it if necessary. And then Mr. Tribble, if it said like, you know, it had just, let's say, 1 plus 2y over this guy, then you still just multiply by the conjugate, okay? This is just a little more nuance to it. We multiply by the evil twin brother or sister, the so-called changeling, and we do the FOIL, and we find out that the top simplifies into -2 plus 11i. I have all the work here, and then I have a 5 on the bottom. The biggest thing is it's like that irrational stuff, right? Remember if you had 1 over root 7, your teacher went nuts and said you can't have a radical in the denominator? Well, yeah, you can. They just don't like how it looks. So we do the same thing with the imaginary number complex system. Okay? Now I take that 5 right there, and the direction said, it's like Castanets, right? The direction said, hey, put it in real number format, right? With x and y. Well, I divide that 5 into both of those, and I get -2/5 plus 11/5 eyeball. So x and y are what they're looking for. Pretty cool. So I guess I don't get out of that. That's cool. I know. It's remember when I get about right around here is when the lefty takes over. Okay, but when I'm up on top, is it any better? Is right better than left or no? Do you like right over left? I don't know. You tell me.
Almost the same.
Yeah, that's what you say. Because what I'm doing is this: I freeze my elbow and I make sure, and then after a while yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like a praying mantis thing, right? Okay. So letter I is that answer. Okay, not bad. Remember, it's in the 2010s and above. Those answers are out there, right? Billy, cool.
I'm just trying to read your handwriting.
It's okay. If you can't read it, don't worry. Hold on.
So you just separate. Wait. So you just separate factors? Like,
Yes, yes.
I got it. I got it. All good.
You want to see it? Nobody? No? Niente? No? Yeah. Miss 2022 or something? Yeah. Miss 2040? All right, any questions on the first part? Right? Cool? Okay, now I can't tell what the second part says. Don't miss my second. So the second part, it gives you something like this as an argument, yes? Or not an argument, it gives you that, z minus z, right? Z minus u, absolute value is equal to u. Pretty good so far?
Is that what we do for the first one? Just say.
Yeah, that's all they wanted, right? And Miss Aber has my sheet here, so she'll tell me. Oh, she's on us. Miss Rice Cakes. Okay, so yeah, all right? So that's all they wanted, okay? Now the next part, yes ma'am? The next part says, hey, you know what this guy is, right? Well, you're going to find that guy out. Remember, you see absolute value bars on there, you know you got to do something. It's a modulus, okay? Evil modulus. So all we have to do is, I put it over here, right? And then to find the modulus, which, okay, right? All we have to do is square the coefficients of x and y, right? Or the number and the coefficient for the imaginary guy, right? And I square them and so on. And just to do some little bit of math and so on, I get u is equal to the square root of 5. Okay? Now, Emily's like, who cares? Not just for her. Oh, I should bring some more cafe. Okay? I should bring some more. Coffee's amazing. Just nectar of the gods, so to speak, as well as adrenaline or epinephrine. All right, so this right here, this portion here is radical 5. Okay? Not bad? It's just the modulus, right? It's just the radius, so to speak. Remember, R and U, absolute value bar, is the same thing, just a different letter. You say cat in English, and what is cat in Spanish? Gato. And is it the same thing for a female cat? Gata, right? You have to change just like Italian, okay? Now, if you want to say a female dog, which is a bad word,
Canis in Latin.
canis, or canis, right? And
Filius.
yes, yeah. It's pedo in Spanish, right? I suck at see, your R's are perfect. Yeah, I'm already envying you. So this portion right here is radical 5.
Yeah.
So put a radical 5 right there. Okay? Because it told you what it is. Yeah. So this portion is also tells us exactly. Here we go with all the BS. This portion tells me already the center of the circle. Instead of, remember I did that x plus yi deal? Well, let's even get lazier, because immediately that's my x, that's my y.
Yeah.
That's where it tells me where it's located. X is minus 2/5, good, and y is 11/5, good. Now it's just, you ever play Battleship?
Yes.
Who has
I know. G7, H5. Well, you're doing the same thing here. So on the yes, sir. On the imaginary and the real scale, so it's minus 2/5 here, 11. Boom, they connect right there. Now, do we have a radius? Yeah, we got a radius, and that radius is radical 5, and it says to draw the circle or whatever else is, and voila, it's a bad version, but hey, come on, give me a break. All right. I tried. Yes, sir.
So how do you know where to draw the circle? Like
The circle emanates always from the origin, and they call
Okay.
this fancy word suspended, and it goes to the center from here. So always from the origin and onward.
But it went
Yes,
past
sir.
that.
So it's not like, is the circle like accurate, or you just draw it?
I just think my circles are accurate. No. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just like wondering. So it doesn't really. It's just like a little. Like,
Yeah, it's just a cartoon.
Okay.
Okay? I just told you the center, hold on, and then the radius, or u, absolute value of u, right? And that's the absolute value of u here, and then there's the circle. Good enough for government work? Because what?
The radius is, if it were a right triangle, it would be the hypotenuse, and that's the what's the formula. For
I was in the Middle East before, and so they'll do this. Okay? I've been around. Yes, Mr. Epler. And then, yes, I'm sorry. He was right there. Go ahead.
You know, it's kind of funny. It looks kind of like an eyeball, and we're dealing with imaginary numbers.
Cute.
The eye.
I knew he was going to say it. I knew someone was going to say it. Awesome.
Illuminati.
And?
So, this is sort of like a comprehension question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the circle is always going to be touching the point 0, 0, right?
the radius will always emanate from the center, but for this example, most of the time.
Because the radius comes from there, it'll
Yes,
always be
yeah,
matching that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there's always a point on the.
Yeah, I can't say a million, let's go ivory on this one,
It's
okay?
not
What
on
about that
number
one?
6.
Because that's a different one. There's something different.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but because just by coincidence it happened here, but it's a good thumb thing, and like Eileen said, Cammy said, hey, look at the other one on the other side, but that's a 0 right there, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
so why is there
So then,
I'll go through that in Saturday in a second, don't worry, Mr. Ella.
so if it was Z minus U is greater than or less than U,
Oh,
it'd
okay,
be
now it's
dash
equal,
line.
right? Equals the circle, now, it's less than and equal, what do I do? Shade. If
Yeah.
it's greater, what do I do?
Shade the
Dash
outside.
line.
Shade everything outside, and then it's just a happy cat face inside.
So we just shade the inside.
Now it's equal, right? Okay,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
equal, so it's
Yeah.
just the circle, right?
Yeah.
Good.
All the points that fall on the circle.
Okay, it's very Middle Eastern. It's a Arab. All right.
So do we need
Salam
to write
alaikum.
that somewhere though, or is that just
Yes.
implied?
Say again.
I said, do we need to write that somewhere though, or is that just?
Salam alaikum. No, you don't have to write it. We don't speak Farsi
What?
or Arab. Arabic. No, what did you want us to write? So
No, I was wondering if do we have to write like, since it's equal, it's points on the circle. It's that.
no, you just give the picture.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
remember,
Okay.
I'm listening. And then Nick,
So then if it's greater than or less than, you shade,
greater than. What happens?
Outside.
shade outside.
Less than.
Shade inside.
Equal. Draw the thing.
What if it's less than or greater than or equal to?
It won't be those combinations
Then it's just
thereof.
everything that exists.
Then it wouldn't give you a combination, right? If,
Yeah.
I mean, each equation, right? Now he's talking about something I did like in 600 level math. It'll be like this and this, right? No, it wouldn't do that. to you.
wait, no, I think what he's talking about is the fact that we have less than greater than, but we also have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the difference is.
If it's just greater than, right? Then it's the dots, right? So let's say if it's not equal, then it's just a dot of the circle, right?
Okay.
Now if it's greater than, and that's it, right? That means it's the same thing to shade, but the circle's what? Dotted.
Okay.
Dotted, right? Just like a line. Remember, y is not equal to 5. You dot the line, everything up to the neutral zone, so to speak, right? Okay. And if it's less than, you dot the circle and then color it in. It says don't include everything except the circle.
If there's an equals, it's a solid circle. If not, it's dotted, and then greater than or less than determines where you shade.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't say it any better. Okay. Any questions? You sure? Not bad. How much time we got? Isn't it better that I did this beforehand?
6 minutes?
6 minutes?
It's
Sure.
Wednesday. Those are gonna be Friday next year.
Yes, I know.
All of the seniors.
Oh, I gotta see if I have a job here Friday, so next year, right? So
Having another one of these cameras.
can I just set up to A? Can we just go to A? Is that all right?
Yeah.
And then I'll stop. All right.
We
So
have time.
yeah, if we have time, right? So Ms. A. Bear, you have 20/20 vision, and you're like, who are you fooling, right?
Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Murmer,
That's
I got
it.
a joke for you.
Oh, here we go.
Everybody always asks me, where do you see yourself in 2 years? I don't know. I don't have 20/20 vision. You know?
Got it. Beautiful.
It's the only year you can say that joke.
The only year you can say that
I
joke.
can say
See?
that every
See, I'm not the
year.
only one, right?
I know.
Not
Leading up to, but only-
2021.
All right. So the next one.
Last year, I don't know. I don't got to play.
We're still in 2012. Let's just do the first one, which is A. All right? It gives you U minus W and says, when I take those two imaginary guys, it's a 4i, right? And then it says, well, then the product is also 5. And then it wants, I believe, I'm trying to find my sheet here, sheet, right? 33, right? There we go. So it's this guy right here. If you need to see it, I have it. No problem. I think I gave it to you, right? McKenny already has it out. If you don't worry. I have all these line, I believe. So it says, hey, tell us what you, tell me what you and the imaginary complex vectors are, or the points there are. So the first thing I do is said, okay, remember u can be either x plus yi, or x and y is its conjugate, right? This is a weird one because one has to be the evil twin of the other, or the changeling of the other. You guys know what the word changeling means? Yeah. It's a 19th century term. Well, it's been popularized in the 19th century. Yeah. That means someone would take your spot, right? Similar to a doppelganger. Yes, it's similar to a baby. They got rid of this baby and so on, and then now they got the perfect baby.
Yeah.
That's, out with the bathwater, the baby in the bathwater. That was also in the 19th and 20th, early 20th century. All right, stop teaching history. So one is the complex conjugate of the other. So I made I made U positive and I made W negative. Now it won't matter because you still get the same result regardless. I just said one's positive, one's negative.
But if they have two values, it's what you're going to do.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first thing said is, well, U minus W, right? So I said U, I just replaced it with A plus BI. And you could do X minus YI, it doesn't matter. You'll get the same thing. So I took this one and I subtracted, because that's a minus, right? The other evil monster, right? This complex conjugate gives me 4I. Now notice, you see the kitty cats? Yeah. Well, you're subtracting these, the A's cancel out. You get 2BI equals the thing that they told us what it was, which is 4I. Divide both sides, the I's cancel out. And by algebra, but by calculus, we would never take an imaginary number divided by another imaginary number. It would not happen. But by this happenstance, we get B equals 2 because it's a violation. Okay, but in Cambridge, it's okay. All right. Imagine two imaginary things that cancel each other out. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does. It makes sense on the board. It makes sense in mathematics.
So why
Yes.
did you
Yes.
do that? Substituted U and W for the...
I have to find out what the numbers are. What, like U is 7 plus 6I. I don't know what they are. It just says that U minus W is some value. I got to find, well, U is 5x plus 3I, right? Or whatever. And then W is the other guy. I don't know which one it is.
Is the fact that they're complex conjugates just something that you're supposed to know?
Yes, they guarantee that you have to know.
So how do you know?
Because, they want you to know. When you see something like this, a product and whatever it is, think of your complex conjugate thing, okay? That's why, hello, well, you have to know it now, right? Yeah. So I'll always, if I give a test or whatever, I always give hints, okay? So we get B is 2, okay? That means the number in front of this guy is a 2, okay?
So you solve for it.
Now we solve, now the product, right? The product says, hey, the product of those two monsters is 5, right? Well, we do the same thing. We multiply by, it's like A minus B and A plus B, quantity squared. Well, we do the same thing here, and we get A squared minus B squared is 5, right? Don't I know what B was originally? Ms. Ripper's like, yeah. So put that back in there, and A comes out to be plus or minus 1. Now stop right there. Hold for a pause. Too kind. All right. Not bad so far? Yes, no? Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Now, let's wrap it up, and then I'll hopefully get to this B section, okay? You guys are like, well, gotta do B. Okay, I'll do B tomorrow, right? So, if I know A is plus or minus 1, well, there is 2 possibilities for either one of them, right? So, I said U is going to be this guy, A plus B, and then this guy comes out to be what? Then 1 minus, because this is A plus B, and then this is A minus B, right? Then I did the same thing here, and the same thing coincidentally there, to get the values. And that is a 5-pointer.
5 points for that?
5 lovely points. So if you think about it, guys, it's really like system of equations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying that the difference of 2 numbers is 4, Zach, and the sum and the product of 2 numbers is 5. What's the numbers? It's like, it's too early for that stuff, right? But I challenge you like Richard Freeman, right? Dr. Freeman, actually. Yes, sir.
Okay, so does this, can you use this logic to look at that problem? So if U times W equals this, a regular number, not an imaginary number, that means that the two either have to be both imaginary or both non-imaginary.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So,
All possibilities.
So they can't be one or the other. And since the difference between them
Bye-bye.
is an imaginary, doesn't that mean they both have to be imaginary?
What separates your logic here is we found out the previous one. That's what we solved this one out. Bart?
Where does the B come into? Why did you just turn?
I took the most simplest equation, in my opinion, and solved out for one of the letters, the coefficient. I solved for the imaginary coefficient.
So you know that they're conjugates just because
Well, that's the strange thing is I didn't know. I just, well, in order to do them, one has to be the constant. I had to say a
Because they
general
would have to have the
case.
same numbers
Yes.
in order for you to solve it, because there'd be too many variables otherwise.
That's correct.
All right.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Wow. Oh, that was